Hi, everybody. Welcome to Anime and Stuff. I know it's kind of a somber way to start this whole thing off, and we were waiting on people. Uh, mm. And sadly, Phil is at work, so it's just Calvin and I tonight, and pretty much every story is that we're covering tonight is submitted by Phil. So I don't know how we're gonna do this show. Either I don't talk about the stuff that Fell submitted, and we hold it for next week, or we talk about it and I have very little idea about much of it, and I don't really have a lot of opinions. I yeah. Of course, we have to start off with the big news first, which of course is we got to say goodbye to Chadwick Boseman, and I'm actually gonna do something I don't do on this particular show. I'm gonna get on camera and I'm gonna I'm gonna be raw. I'm gonna let you guys see this what all's going on. Hi, here's my ugly fat self. Um we're gonna talk about Chadwick Boseman. That's the first thing that's gonna happen. And we have to have a discussion, honestly, about I mean, it seems a little crass to me and like a little crude, but we have to have a discussion about how do we move forward with Black Panther from here. I'm sure Marvel's having this discussion as well. And I mean, I understand needing to take time to grieve and everything, and it has been a few days. And first and foremost, uh, you know, thoughts and prayers go out to his family dealing with this. And of course, this caught the internet by surprise. Um, uh oh. What? You're not dying too, are you,
Sorry.
Calvin? Don't do this to me.
No.
I'm
Nope.
already
Nope.
I'm
I'm
already
good.
tearing up. So from Chadwick, I can't lose you too, dude.
Nope. Not today.
Well, there we go. They could always have Shuri take over, like in the comics. I mean, that is also true. And but all right, so there's a couple of different points of view on this, and I kind of understand where people are coming from on both. I'll tell you where I think Calvin can tell you where he falls on this and everything, and we'll have a general overall discussion. But let's go ahead and get started. Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther star. I love how they did put Black Panther star like he didn't do a bunch of effing other iconic characters. Um, Chadwick Boseman dies of cancer at age 43. Dude, this guy's only like 5 years older than me, and he just died of stage 4 colon cancer. That's crazy. Um,
It's it's frightening, man.
I really did consider putting off this episode. Uh, man, because of like the sensitive nature of this. Hold on, I gotta reply to Vincent. Go ahead and give your thoughts really quickly, Calvin.
All right. I imagine like everybody else, like this came out completely out of left field. He was incredibly good at keeping his private life private, and it just the news had popped up on my computer in a Microsoft News flash, and I was actually in the middle of the interview that I was doing on Friday when I saw that, and like I really had to hold it together because I saw that, and like I was in the middle of a thought, and like I almost gasped in the middle of that thought. Like it just doesn't seem real, you know. And also what he died from,
Hmm.
like that's something that afflicts usually older people,
Yeah.
and he was only 43. So
All right.
I believe he would have been 44 this year,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
just to think, it's just you know it's just kind of a harsh reminder of how cancer can hit anybody, anytime, anyhow. And I think colon cancer is actually something that afflicts, um, I believe, men and women equally. So this is something that I think we all should be looking out for. And if you happen to know that of any afflictions that run in your family, please do not look the other way about it. Just uh, just be careful with that. Just be mindful. Be proactive. But uh, that aside, it's also, even though he is 43, it's absolutely amazing the resume of work and the legacy he left behind. Of
Like
course, we all know
he st-
about
he started
Black
filming.
Panther.
He started filming for like fucking Civil War and shit back in 2016 when he got diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. So that means his entire tenure in the Marvel universe, he's been fighting colon cancer this entire time. And through Civil War, Black Panther, um, Infinity War, and Endgame. This dude, like, just continuing on what he was doing, and I'm not trying to be preferential to Marvel, but I mean we're a nerdy news show, so that's kind of what we're gonna focus on a bit. But like, this man was battling through all of that while filming these movies, and he still filmed more after those big blockbuster movies got done and everything. But like, while he was filming all this stuff, he was battling cancer. You want to talk about a real fighter, like a real life superhero. That's it right there. And on top of that, he was going to children's hospitals and visiting them in the cancer ward knowing he had cancer. Like, the the only other actor I know that does stuff kind of like this, like to this level of humanity and compassion, and goes and visits kids in the hospital this much, is Johnny Depp. You know,
Right.
but as far as I understand, Depp don't have cancer, and Chadwick did, and I damn man,
Just just the fortitude to be able to do that, given what he was going through. It almost like he knew the fight that those kids were going through, and he wanted to give as much energy to them as he could while um expending energy with his own battle. And I mean, how fucking admirable is that?
right? Yeah, no, I absolutely get it. I don't know if you guys can tell because the camera's kind of far away. I think you can kind of tell, but I've already started crying. Like, this is crazy, and we'll get to the what happens next stuff in a minute. But I want to take a moment to like really just honor like the life and the work of this man. Like, I haven't seen Defy Bloods. I haven't seen that, but I did see 42. And if you haven't seen 42, holy shit, you need to go see that. Like, go check that out. However you have to. I'm not advocating piracy, but if that's what you got to do to see it, I ain't gonna come down on you. But like, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, um, if you don't know, 42 is a story about Jackie Robinson, the baseball player, and he plays opposite Harrison Ford. And this is like what, 2013? Yeah, 2013. I'm looking
Yeah.
at it now. Uh, for his star turn in 2013, his striking portrayal of the stoic baseball star Robinson opposite Harrison Ford. 42 drew the attention in Hollywood. Boseman died on a day that Major League Baseball was celebrating Jackie Robinson Day. Holy shit. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff. One of the people that I felt really bad for, I didn't even know. until like people started putting this out. But apparently, since they were 19, um, Chadwick and Michael B. Jordan have been friends. So as it turns out, Killmonger and T'Challa have known each other for quite some time, and like he is kind of like Michael B. Jordan's kind of taking it really hard. He's devastated, and I understand, dude. Like, I mean, the cliche is said a lot, but it's also kind of true. It's like the good die young. Why do so many assholes get to live so long? You know? Why are so many assholes walking around in their 80s? I was going to say and
That's
running
one.
government but I don't want to get overly political.
But to your point, it's absolutely not fair.
No, it really isn't.
It's like that. The old ad is only the good die young.
Yeah. And I ain't on the guest list. So I'm pretty sure I'm an asshole. I'm pretty sure I'm an asshole. Kind of started to bite my tongue, and I was like, ow. Like I bit like the back of my tongue with the back of my teeth. That does not feel good. I'm gonna cry from that. Jesus. Because heroes always die first and always die. Well, everybody always dies. A lot of assholes live a long time because they make the money being an asshole to live that long. Chadwick wasn't broke, bruh. Chadwick pulled. You think he wasn't making some good Marvel money? Okay, well, that brings up the hot button topic of where do we go from here? All right, this one I'm going to get a little bit passionate about, and there's going to be less tears on this. Um, I've been hearing there's a lot of stuff of they should retire T'Challa because nobody else can play him like Chadwick Boseman. And I get the feeling of where that's coming from, but I absolutely disagree. You don't retire the character, and there's so many more good stories that need to be told. And I love Shuri, but I don't want her becoming Black Panther just yet. I do want her to become Black Panther soon, but I don't think she's mature enough for it. Like, that character is not mature enough for it at the moment. And y'all sitting here saying that, you know, no one else can play it like Chadwick. How many Batmen have we had? How many Jokers have we had? I remember everybody saying nobody's gonna play it like Heath Ledger, and then Joaquin Phoenix came out, and fucking just everybody shut up for quite a while. The character is not owned by the actor, you know. And
Right.
the kind of person that
I've,
Chadwick Boseman was, do you really think he's that motherfucker sitting up in heaven looking down and going, man, better nobody else play my character? No. He would happily pass that on because he understands the character of T'Challa is bigger than him. I get where some people are coming from. They don't want to see somebody else because, in their eyes, Chadwick Boseman is the Black Panther. I absolutely get that.
he iconified the Black Panther.
Yes, but also
He made Black Panther the icon that he is.
right. And
But like I
but
know, but
but
go ahead.
also but also the character is so much bigger than just one person, and there's so many more stories to tell. And if you think that Marvel wouldn't do that, well, there's a picture right there that can tell you 1,000 words. How do you think how do you think Terrence Howard's feeling about Don Cheadle playing his character?
Mm,
It's not the first time that Marvel's recast a character. Even if this wasn't a major character like Black Panther, I mean, Rhodes wasn't a major character in like Iron Man 2. It was still Tony Stark, but like Rhodes became a bigger character throughout the MCU movies. And if y'all think, wow, this is going to be tough to work on with Black Panther, what the fuck what the fuck you think they're going to do when Samuel L. Jackson goes away? He may not look it, but he's in his 70s.
yeah.
He ain't a spring chicken.
Yeah, people who consume pop culture very much hold on to actors and how they portray a character. But to your point, people don't last forever.
And again, I think
And
I
if
think one of the things that Chadwick Boseman did is he opened the door for a lot of black actors.
yes,
Yeah, and
absolutely.
you think he wouldn't be standing there holding the door for another amazing black actor to come in and play T'Challa after him? Like, come on, man. I feel like it's kind of more disrespectful to the legacy of Chadwick to sit there and like say that that his character that he played can't live on without him in a way. I do want more Black Panther, and especially, I mean, I'll feel bad because Storm. I was thinking Storm might be showing up in Black Panther 2, and I was like all down for that. And this isn't like how it was with like other stuff like Fast and the Furious, where they'd filmed a good portion. I don't think they'd even begun filming on Black Panther 2. Had they?
Yeah, I don't think I don't believe they did.
And then there's all right, so and I'm not saying it has to be this way the whole time, but how would you guys feel if they did kind of how they did in Fast 7 with Paul Walker, where they kind of replaced him, they put him in digitally. Uh, I'm not talking Rogue One digital stuff with Grand Moff Tarkin, but like they put him in as kind of a way to farewell to his character. How would you feel about that? I think if it's done respectfully and it's done tastefully, yes. Where do you fall on that, Calvin?
Um, in terms of replace or I mean recast or um like you said, like he opened the door for black actors to really shine in a major movie.
Mm.
Like he didn't open that door; he kicked it down in the realest way. So, and like also like you said, there's so many more stories to be told in the Black Panther realm. So
Mm.
it's probably gonna be like, if they recast him, which after listening to you, I kind of feel like I do understand what you're feeling, and I'm with you on that. There's probably going to be so much hate for whoever gets recast if they decide to recast.
Mm.
Nothing's really known right now.
Right. I mean, the whole thing's
This
in
is still
flux.
very early.
I think they
They were
have the
still
script ready, maybe, but I'm not 100% on that. Yeah, Phil, I understand that, but I don't think they should. I think it's too early. I don't think Shuri is ready to be the Black Panther. Um, there's a lot there, but
I mean,
all right. The whole I don't think they'll recast thing. I think that's more of an emotional reaction. I think they should recast, and I'm doing that because I had that same emotional reaction of I don't think they will because I don't want them to kind of feeling. And then I sat back and I thought about it and I listened to some other people. Like, go check out Tyrone Magnus's thoughts or check out Akasan's thoughts, and yeah, that's where that's where I kind of got a bit more information about this, and I'm like, at this point, I think it would be wrong not to recast. I think it's more of an insult to just end the character right there because of the passing of the actor. I think that's I
Marvel
yeah.
Marvel is definitely finding themselves in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
Mm-hmm.
But
No matter
just
what
thinking
now,
about it
nobody.
from
No matter what they do now, no one's people. There's gonna be all people who aren't gonna be satisfied.
right.
Well, the thing is, Black Panther 2 wouldn't even be coming out until like a couple of years from now. So
Yeah,
by
like
that
we're
time,
looking at
people will have.
2022 earliest.
I'm not even. I wouldn't even go with 2022 at this point. I think it'd be somewhere around 2023. So at that point, you would have had time to process. It's like, again, again, it's like anytime that somebody new plays a character that you like, whether it's Batman or the Joker, or stuff like that. There's always going to be those people that are like, well, they don't want to give them their fair shake. I mean, believe it or not, it was like that with Heath Ledger. There were plenty of people that talked shit about Heath Ledger. They're like, really? The guy from 10 Things I Hate About You is going to be the Joker? Are you kidding me? That pretty boy? Really? You know? A lot of things were said. And then, sometimes people realize they were wrong. But I honestly, if they do recast, I wish whoever gets cast the best. I hope they kill it. I hope they do Chadwick proud. I really do think that, like, guys, if you haven't had a chance, now's a really good time to kind of go check out some of the amazing stories from Black Panther, because there's a lot of really good stuff in there. And like, if it's still, Ryan Coogler is still doing the second one if they're going forward with a second one. I mean, they may just
Right.
decide to cancel Black Panther, which I think that would be the biggest insult if they did that. Like, there might be riots from that shit. Don't you dare cancel Black
There,
Panther.
there's no way in hell they're gonna do that.
Mm.
From a financial standpoint, there is no way they're gonna do that. So they're gonna have to figure out a way to move forward with this one way or another.
Right. And again, it's not their first time having to recast someone for the same role, because they've done that quite a few times, actually, on different MCU projects. But like, I get where people are coming from when they say that they don't want him recast and they want his sister to take over. And I'm like, yeah, but also no. Because if you sit down and think about it, Shuri is a little too much. She's a little too immature. She's not ready to be the Black Panther. I think Shuri is happier, at least in this point in time, with the character in the MCU anyway. I think she's more comfortable in her lab than she would be being out there doing stuff. Like, she loved driving the car, but that's because she could do it from her lab. Um and and honestly, like I said, I think she's not ready to be the Black Panther. And I mean, I understand that sometimes you're not ready until you have it forced upon you, and then you have to just be ready. Like, I get that. But no matter what they do, I think they're kind of screwed. All right, I'm gonna hop off camera now. I've shed my tears, and you guys can see that plainly enough. Uh, I'm also not okay with him just killing off T'Challa. Like, I don't think that's cool either. Oh man. I do not envy Ryan Coogler or any of the writers for Black Panther 2 right now. Like, I understand uh that everybody's grieving at the moment, but still, like, I don't envy any of their positions that they're in right now. This is a tough spot. Gotta say, that's a really tough spot to be in.
Hmm.
Whew. All right. Let's move on to non-sad, well, kind of non not non-crying sad news. The rest of it's just kind of maybe sad. Yay! We're gonna talk about EA, our favorite group to make fun of. What did you do now, EA? How'd you fuck up this time? Okay, EA faces a class action lawsuit over Ultimate Team loot boxes. A class action lawsuit has been brought against Electronic Arts in California, claiming that the publisher's Ultimate Team modes breach the state's gambling laws. No shit.
Mm.
EA's Ultimate Team packs used in the FIFA and Madden games constitute gambling in violation of California law. Plaintiff Kevin Ramirez alleges in court documents seen by VGC. The plaintiff is demanding a jury trial and damages of $5 million. The case was brought by Ramirez on behalf of proposed class of more than 100 others on August 13th in Northern District of California. The same law firm also filed a class action against Apple in June for its loot boxes in California. It alleges that EA relies on creating addictive behaviors in consumers to generate huge revenues. No shit! And that EA's Ultimate Team packs are predatory and designed to entice gamers to gamble. You don't say. EA's Ultimate Team packs are loot boxes. Buying the packs are nothing more than a gambling bet, the case claims. Purchased using real money, the Ultimate Team packs are simply wagers on completely randomized chances within the game to win valuable professional players and other items for the EA Gamers virtual sports team. Ramirez claims he has been induced to spend money to purchase Ultimate Team packs and estimates he has spent in excess of $600 in FIFA and Madden since 2011. Okay, well, in 9 years, if you've spent only $600, you're doing it right, sir.
Yeah.
You actually have some form of self-control. There are many others who don't.
I've spent more on Steam games than that since 2011.
Yeah, right? Okay, California's definition of gambling defines an illegal gambling device as a machine, aperture, or device. Something of value is given to play, and the player may receive something of value by element of chance. None of these elements can be in dispute, reads the filing. A gamer uses his console, computer, smartphone, or tablet with the EA Sports franchise on it. The gamer pays real-world currency for the opportunity to open an Ultimate Team pack, and 2, the Ultimate Team pack is a randomized chance to win something valuable in-game. There is currently no legal consensus in the U.S. on whether loot boxes constitute gambling. However, the case references places where the mechanic has been classed as gambling, such as in Belgium, where games such as FIFA were blocked from selling loot boxes. It also references a September 2019 report from the UK's Digital Culture, Media and Sport Committee, which advised the UK government to regulate loot boxes under gambling law and ban them from sale to children. In January, UK trade body Uki launched a Get Smart About Play campaign, which is designed to help parents promote healthy gaming using console safety features. And in April, the Pan-European Game Information Rating System introduced additional information on physical game packaging and on digital storefronts for titles which included in-game purchases that include random items like loot boxes or card packs. Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo announced last year that they were planning to introduce new policies that require games made for their consoles to disclose loot box odds beginning in 2020. This is just more of EA being shitty EA to kind of just sum it up. I pretty much feel the same about this. I'm glad that somebody in the US is finally taking this, because if they win this, if EA loses this, which is more of where I was going with that sentence. It got away from me. If EA loses this sets a precedent that is finally pro-consumer, and let's face it, things haven't been very pro-consumer in the video game industry or just the economy in a long fucking time. So this would be a step, at least finally, in the right direction. And Yeah. Let us know in the comments what you think about this. Calvin, I need to step away for a moment. If you would uh, give your thoughts and then interact with the chat based on theirs, I'll be right back.
Okay. Fist and Leg 110. The EA lawsuit was bound to happen at some point over loot boxes. Definitely agree with you on that, but it's interesting and well, not really interesting, more like well overdue that the law would come in and put EA's practices under a microscope. Because I mean, gambling is something that's illegal in most states in the U.S. But this has been a way for EA to like float under the radar and just pile on money, just absolutely pile on money for years and years and years. And so uh it's way past due that EA kind of gets called out in a legal way for this. My problems with loot boxes come when you can't get the things from them without buying the boxes. That and when odds are undisclosed and have insanely low odds at anything worthwhile. Like, personally, if you're going to do loot boxes, just either do what was quoted in this article and do what Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo are going to do or planning to do and require the games to disclose the odds of loot boxes, or just throwing something out there at the wall to see what sticks. Just make specific loot boxes. Um, and make loot boxes with like that actually tells you what is going like what is up for grabs. Like specifically up for grabs. I'm not sure if sure how many other people would agree with that or be into that. I'm kind of curious as to what other people think in the chat about this. So, class action lawsuit is seems pretty interesting. Uh, Cameron Ramirez is one of over 100 other people that are part of this lawsuit. And if this goes to a jury, this is going to be a very, very bad look for EA.
And it's
I
going to be a
mean,
very, very big deal for the industry overall.
yeah, this will, like you said, this will be a big step in the right direction for consumers
Yeah. I feel like it could be a game
in the
changer
short term.
in the gaming industry.
Do you think this could be the end of loot boxes altogether,
Mm-mm.
or could this be just a major shift in how they go about it?
It's only $5 million. This isn't even a this is this is barely a pebble thrown into a pond at this point. You want to make EA stop, hit them for real money.
Hmm.
EA probably makes 5 million in like what, an hour? Could just not be greedy pricks and do away with loot boxes completely. I agree, Rick.
Yeah, that's also a very valid very valid idea. Like I understand that video game companies are trying to find more clever ways to make money, especially since the cost to make a video game is just astronomical at this point.
Well, here's the thing.
Like
Here's the thing. I mean, it's the problem is that the developers aren't making that money. It's not all that money from loot boxes and stuff aren't going to the developers. So this argument about, oh well, it takes a lot to make money. That's absolute, or it costs a lot to make this. That's absolute bullshit. It's the publishers that are making the money off of this. EA's just a publisher. They're like, oh, we have all these resources in these different studios, and you can use our studios and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, but ultimately EA is kind of known as like a killer of different studios, like Visceral Games, the guys that made Dead Space, they're gone. Shit, BioWare's barely hanging in there anymore. I mean, I feel like at this point in time, if you're not doing a sports game, EA is where you go to just basically enter the video game studio graveyard. I mean, Respawn's doing pretty good right now because they're doing Apex Legends and they had Jedi Fallen Order, which, by the way, the only reason I think Jedi Fallen Order actually succeeded is because EA stayed the fuck away for once. The only good
Hmm.
Star Wars game I've seen in a while. And, uh, like, Gamescom happened and I saw a bunch of Star Wars shit and I was just sitting here going, all I could think was, Disney, please tear up your contract with EA. Let other creatives make Star Wars game. This exclusivity shit is absolute bullshit. And I'm sick and tired of hearing movie people that know about the movie industry sit here and talk about why it's such a good thing that EA has a deal with Disney. I'm like, it's not a good thing. You don't know anything about video games. You don't really play video games. Please stay in your lane. You don't have problems with when cosmetics are done that way, but having the actual gameplay or more or less locked behind them is different. No, I agree with that. And that whole model, see, the thing is, this whole model's been around for a long time, and nobody complained before when they basically had it all built in, but they hadn't fully finished it, and they said it was DLC. Nobody complained, but now that the problem is that if you give them an inch, publishers will take a mile. So they keep constantly pushing and pushing to see what more they can get away with, and they're just trying to make money, trying to make money, trying to make money. And it would be one thing if that money trickled down to the actual devs, to the studios, but most of that stays with their fucking CEOs. And again, I would say
Wow.
check out a lot of the stuff that's going on with Activision Blizzard stuff. We had a big conversation about Activision Blizzard like a couple of either last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't remember, but like we had a big discussion about that kind of stuff. And this is just the the more we keep the longer we keep doing this show, the more of this kind of stuff we see. Like this isn't even an anomaly at this point. This is just how the industry is run, and it's disgusting. It's basically, hey, shut up and give us your money, and just accept that this is the way that things are. But here's the thing: the more you're like, hey, I don't have a problem with this thing, that I understand that you're not that you're trying to say, hey, I this is my line, and as long as you don't cross this. But like it was that kind of thinking that got us to where we are with this predatory gaming industry now. Just listen to Angry Joe rant. That's kind of where my headspace is. Except he's able to do it angrier and much more in a much more articulate fashion. So, in summation, I just want to say fuck EA and thank you very much for every time that you screw up because you give us subscribers because we have an abridged series where we make fun of you, and because of that, every time you fuck up, we gain some more subs. Appreciate it. That's my wrapping up of this story. I could continue talking about this, but I'm just gonna get angrier and angrier, and I don't really want to be in that headspace, you know.
I will say I hope this is a an eye-opening experience for the video game industry as a whole.
I hope this class
And
action goes through, and instead of 5 million, you're looking at 50 million or 500 million. Like, it needs to be a monetary amount that punishes EA to the point that they are forced to care. You you punish
I
them.
wonder
You
if
punish greedy people by going after their wallet, but $5 million is in a sense like you reached into the wallet of an asshole and pulled out a $1 bill. You need to like hit them hard to make them learn a lesson. Greedy people will continue being greedy unless you do something more than just give them a slap on the wrist. A slap. Clearly, the people that caused the 2008 financial crash, they got a slap on the wrist and they learned fucking nothing. They're still doing the same shit. They haven't really learned anything because there was no real punishment for them. Nobody went to jail for fucking over the American worker, the average American. Nobody went to jail for that. So unless there's dire financial repercussions, EA's not going to learn their lesson either. $5 million is a drop in the bucket. Come on. Okay, next story before I go too off the walls. Okay, again, all of this stuff up until the last story was all submitted by Fel, so I have no idea what the hell this is about. The Fazbear Fanverse initiative. I know nothing about the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. I never wanted to play it. I never did play it. So there you go. Oh, little project. Okay, so there's a person to it. Where the fuck is? Okay. Really, really don't want to talk about this. It says Fells online. What is this shit? What is this shit? I can't just drag him in, unfortunately. Uh yeah, I'm just gonna skip this for now. I'd
It's
rather
based.
have
I
I'd
think
rather
it's
have
based.
Fel come on and just explain what the hell this is.
Okay.
Cause like I didn't submit this story. I don't There have been some great fan made spin off universes created in this community. I want to see them keep going. That's why I've got some of my own cash toward development of new games in those. So basically he wants to make games out of some of the fan stuff that has been made. And he's calling it the Fazbear Fanverse Initiative.
Yeah. Basically,
I don't know anybody
he's
that's really
footing the
talking
bill
about
for.
Five Nights at
Mm,
Freddy's anymore. Like everybody's kind of
Yeah.
moved on. Thank God.
I have nothing to say about Five Nights at Freddy's either way because I've never played it.
I've never played it. I have no desire to play it. I don't really care about it. That's basically where we're at. Okay, let's continue on. That was short. All right, we kind of surmised the thing. Fist seems to think same. He doesn't really care. Yeah. All right. Skullgirls Mobile, which I like Skullgirls, but mobile. I have no good thoughts about mobile. An official statement from Hidden Variable and Autumn regarding Lab Zero games and the future of Skullgirls. Recently, a number of Lab Zero Games employees have decided to leave the company as a result of actions by Mike Zaymont and a series of reported incidents that have involved Mike over the years. Autumn Games and Hidden Variable Studios fully support these employees who have chosen to stand by their principles and leave in light of that behavior and their allegations. And we find their allegations to be credible. As such, effective immediately, we will no longer be working with Mike Zaymont or Lab Zero Games. Although Hidden Variable has worked on Skullgirls since 2015, we are a 100% independent studio from Lab Zero Games. Our formal relationship is with Autumn Games, who are the official IP holders for Skullgirls. While Mike never worked for Hidden Variable or Autumn, his behavior nonetheless directly contradicts our shared core values of mutual respect, decency, and professionalism. Everyone has the right to work in a safe environment, and we were disheartened to hear that this was not always the case at Lab Zero. One of the things that makes Skullgirls so special is the incredibly passionate, kind, and generous community that has grown around the game and enabled it to flourish over the years. We know how much Skullgirls means to the community and how many of you have given so much of your time, energy, love, money, and support to enable Skullgirls to thrive. In light of recent events, we understand that this is a trying time for everyone involved. That said, Skullgirls is bigger than any individual, and it may take more than the unacceptable behavior of any one person to bring it down. Skullgirls, in all its forms, has been a product of years and years of effort from dozens of dedicated developers, artists, designers, and more. As such, Hidden Variable and Autumn are committed to investing in the ongoing development of Skullgirls without the involvement of Lab Zero or Mike Zamont. We plan to work with the many talented individuals who are leaving Lab Zero to build new Skullgirls content moving forward, including the Annie launch on Skullgirls in the coming months and her launch in Skullgirls Second Encore in 2021. Beyond Annie, we intend to continue working together to provide a new Skullgirls content for everyone in the community to enjoy for years to come. We hope this can serve as a fresh start for the next phase of Skullgirls development, unburdened by the events of the past. As always, we thank you for your trust and your ongoing support. Here's to a brighter tomorrow for the franchise we love and many wonderful people who have made it possible. Hidden Variable Studios and Autumn Games. Okay, what the fuck happened?
Um,
Context. There is context missing.
I have an article that may help.
Please,
I'm
please
okay. I'm
enlighten
gonna
me. Like, God, Fel,
so
you can't just post this without the context.
so
What the Fel, man?
Mike Zama
What did
Mike
Mike
Zamont
Zamont
was
do?
the lead designer on Skullgirls,
I can
and
fill in the context.
Oh, there he is. Finally.
all right,
Yes,
hey, all
go.
right,
Go.
Okay, so the
all
creator
you.
of Skullgirls has been reported to be had been sexual harassing fellow employees as well as streamers.
He's the creator of Skullgirls?
The technically
He's
the
the
he was the founder of Lab Zero.
Okay.
okay. He was a lead
He was
designer.
he also was taking basically threatening people with his position. It was basically a lot of corruption, position wise and everything.
Okay.
All right, that's all I can really tell.
Okay.
All right. Just
the reason why this is kind of personal to me is because Danielle McRae voices for this. And if you don't know, Danielle McRae has worked with us prior on Infinity's Light stuff.
Yeah. The other thing that I do want to bring up is if you have seen a lot of fighting game people, such as Sonic Fox, they have offered aid to those developers that have left.
Okay, yeah, this needed a lot more context than a simple link. So
there was other articles, but I didn't. I wanted to cover that one, and then I wished I would.
This is why when they ask you to work Monday nights, you tell them no.
I wish I could.
You can. It's just really simple. 2 words, or 2 letters.
I'm on the totem pole. That's how they do it at my work.
Well, get a new totem pole.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, no, that's one thing. The one article I know you breezed through is Scott Coffin with FNAF. I linked that for lighter news with developer because he is helping indie developers with their Five Nights at Freddy's games. For context, that's basically what he was helping fund those as well as make merchandise for them.
That's nice. Pick a better franchise.
It was some light news. So yeah, that's the context with that.
All right. Clearly, I am not a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's. That's all I'm gonna say. All right.
Well, I'm just saying the developer doing something nice.
Right,
it was a nice change of pace.
Let's move on to your other one. PlayStation 5 will be apparently in such limited supply that Sony's asking customers to sign up for the chance to pre-order the console. Is this a COVID thing? Or did they just... Like, what the fuck? Why did you not make that many PS5s?
I think it's related to COVID in the demand. It's kind of like the issue that they ran into a couple months ago when I was working at GameStop. In Japan, they did it as a lottery.
I don't see that going very well. Alrighty. Well,
And he's gone.
Sony did it again. You done fucked up, Sony. When the PlayStation
You don't
5
messed up,
launches,
Sonai.
when the PlayStation 5 launches this holiday season, it may be hard to find. There will be a limited quantity of PS5 consoles available for pre-order, Sony announced on Wednesday night. The company has instituted a lottery system for customers interested in pre-ordering the console. Enter your PlayStation Network ID on this page and hope for the best. We will be inviting some of our existing consumers to be one of the first to pre-order one from PlayStation, the company said, using previous interest and PlayStation activities. What do you want to bet big top streamers, like these big ass top dollar streamers, are going to be able to get their hands on one for marketing reasons? Just from a Sony
no doubt.
marketing
No doubt
standpoint,
about that.
you know some of the fucking people, like, if Sony doesn't give one to PewDiePie, they'd be fucking idiots. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, there's a limited supply, but I guarantee you, some of the big streamers are going to be the ones that end up getting it. Or it's going to end up being like Mr. Beast is like, I have a PS5, who wants it? You know,
I imagine they'll be able to. I imagine like big time streamers and like big wigs will be able to just skirt the fucking pre-order system altogether.
Here's my other things, right? Here's my other thing that I'm worried about. What the fuck is going on with freaking with like, oh goodness, with a bunch of the titles that were announced for the PS5? Like, what is going on there? Are they like the only thing that really caught my interest about PS5 stuff was Horizon 2. And that seemed like it was going to be a PS5 exclusive. And
yeah, they haven't updated
like it was
anything.
going to be like a launch title or something.
Oh, so yeah, I apparently got cut off, but yeah, no, a lottery for getting a pre-order. The fuck.
Yeah, we've kind of already covered the fact that there's a lottery. We're just moving on to talking about what does this mean about a bunch of the games that were announced earlier this year.
Sorry, I had to go away.
Continue to go away. We've moved on.
Okay, well then I'll go.
You're at work. I don't want you to get in trouble. Go away.
Okay, bye then, guys. I thought I'd give some context, please.
We kind of have the title kind of gives context here.
Yeah, okay.
All right, later.
All right.
Later,
dude. So is the PS5 supposed to be coming out this year
It comes out
or
this
next
year, and the Xbox Series X comes out this year too. They're both coming out around holiday or around Christmas this year.
Okay.
Here's the thing: if PS5 is in limited supply, but they've got plenty of Xbox One X, how much does this hurt Sony's chances in the quote unquote console wars? You know.
Hey, could this give Xbox an opportunity to pull ahead?
It definitely could.
I think it would honestly depend on launch titles and exclusive titles. Usually PlayStation has the upper hand on exclusive titles over Xbox. So
yeah, but
they could be
that bothers me more than anything else because we're PC people now.
Right. It's kind of weird that PC's kind of getting the shaft these days. But in terms of the quote unquote console wars, it's really stupid at this point. Just buy the fucking console that you want. Just keep moving. Xbox, this could give Xbox a chance if it has strong enough titles for launch. Otherwise, this could Sony could still pull away with this, or possibly this could just be a ploy for them to generate even more interest in the PS5.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
also true.
just just fudge the
Streamer
supply and
privilege.
demand numbers.
Yes, Fisk. Streamer privilege. Xbox won't have any exclusives. All Xbox exclusives will be added to PC as well. Yeah, but that's also a good thing for me as a PC player. Like, no offense, I'm not gonna go out and buy an Xbox One. Like, dude, there was no fucking way. If I'm being real, there's no way I was gonna go out and buy a PS5 or an Xbox uh, Series X or whatever XX. There was no way I was gonna go out and buy either one of those consoles at release. I was probably gonna wait a year in general for either of them because when it's the dumbest thing to buy it at launch knowing there's going to be bugs galore. There's going to
Mm,
be so many effing updates within the first 3 months that have to be done because it does not work as intended. There's going to be there like the red ring of death issues with the PlayStation with the Xbox 360. You know, so
right.
I learned earlier on to just give it almost a year and then get the new consoles because number one, the price will kind of sort of come down, and number two, they'll have fixed a lot of the issues that were making it a problem. I also don't like the fact that Sony straight up throttles the download speeds for internet or for like if you're trying to download something from PlayStation Plus or just download a
Hmm.
game, they throttle your fucking speeds.
Really?
Yeah, I have fucking amazing speeds and they should not be throttled this way.
Huh.
But yeah, we'll move on from that. Um
Okay.
all right, last we're going to sign off with something that's personal to me. Just yeah. Uh Shonen Jump's
Mm.
cancellation of Paradox Ghostwriter is unsurprising. I did not know that this was happening. I read the 14th chapter. I was looking forward to what happened, and then I saw the end instead of next chapter. So, Time Paradox Ghostwriter has reportedly, not reportedly, it actually has, been axed by Weekly Shonen Jump. It's been a controversial series since it began serialization, with a vocal fan base making their dislike of the series' exploration of plagiarism known. The author, Kenji Ichima, was forced to disable replies on social media due to negative comments about the series. What adds to the discourse is that the main character, a male creator, steals the work of a young girl who spends over a decade trying to perfect a story that she can be proud of and is excited to show other people. Plagiarism is someone's own original creative work, goes against the moral compass of many, and it was unnerving to see how the series attempted to build excuses to make it seem okay. Okay, this seems like SJW shit. Because, yes, there was a bit of plagiarism involved, but, like, there was more context to this. That's just dumb.
If this is the series that you've been telling me
Like, if
about,
people
yeah,
were sitting here, like, this is basically Steins Gate meets Bakuman, and it got canceled because people were crying about plagiarism. Okay, guys, the series is over. I'm just gonna go ahead and spill the tea and spoil things for you because, like, this is just really, really stupid. Um, it had a really great following because it started off as a manga that showed up from 10 years in the future. The kid read it and he was so impressed by it, he actually sat down and wrote it because he thought it was a dream. As it turns out, it wasn't a dream. It was actually a manga that was being sent out from 10 years in the future. And up to a certain point, it keeps going and then it stops. Well, as it turns out, the mangaka, the woman that we're talking about here, this blue haired girl in question, 10 years in the future, she was writing it, and she got so obsessed with writing a manga that everybody could appreciate that she wouldn't do anything except work, and she basically worked herself to death. And the whole point of this series is like the only way to stop her from doing it, because there had been many attempts to try and stop her and save her life. The main thing was get this kid to write a series that was so much better than that was so good that it basically accomplished her goal for her. um and made her stop. And essentially, it was about saving this girl's life. I, I, there is a bit of a point with like the plagiarism, but I'm like, this is kind of a gray area in plagiarism, and I kind of find this, like, the outcry of this seems like bullshit. And, but yeah, okay. The Time Paradox Ghostwriter had a great start by following Teppei Sasaki, a struggling artist trying to become a professional manga artist with Shonen Jump, but constantly has his ideas rejected. The beginning of this series shows the inner workings of how Shonen Jump and other manga publishers operate behind the scenes. The audience sees that many challenges that comes with getting a published one-shot, much less a full-running series, put them on full display and giving readers a renewed appreciation for their favorite manga, the mangaka behind them, and the entire team who work hard to get a new chapter out every week. Teppei's struggles as a creator are also very realistic, trying to find his unique voice as an artist as he resiliently tries to live out his dreams while trying to make ends meet. The series takes a turn when he finally finds success by plagiarizing White Knight, the work of a young girl named Itsuki Aino, when a microwave time machine sends Teppei her groundbreaking manga from 10 years in the future. See what I'm saying about the whole Steins Gate? It's a fucking time-traveling microwave? Yeah. Alright, so Teppei recognizes that what he's doing is wrong, but reasons that it is somehow okay to steal Itsuki's hard work and creativity, even trying to trace her artwork at one point to replicate her success. No, he does not accept profit from the manga due to feeling terrible about his reactions, his actions, but that still doesn't change the fact that he does it for personal gain, recognition, praise, and prestige are all still forms of payment. Itsuki surrenders the White Knight story to Teppei and becomes determined to create another manga that can surpass it. To top it all off, Itsuki is going to die from exhaustion due to overworking herself as a manga artist, and Teppei has to somehow prevent this by plagiarizing some more. It's not about plagiarism at that point. Like, literally, there is a point where the manga stops coming in because she has died, and he has to try and continue the story on his own. And at this point, it's straight out his story from this point. And it's actually his art style. So, yes, it is plagiarism and a bit of theft early on. It stops being plagiarism quite a ways through. Although this type of story did not sit well with readers, there is still some merit to it. Shonen Jump's unusual fare are action-packed stories with popular, immutable heroes. A few exceptions like The Promised Neverland, but Time Paradox Ghostwriter is a shonen supernatural series that fans of the manga magazine don't typically see serialized. Despite its short run and controversial topic of choice, Time Paradox Ghostwriter had great visuals and a premise that broke the cookie-cutter Shonen Jump formula. This series could be a gateway for future stories with unique concepts that push the envelope more than what's been serialized in the past. As long as the mangaka nail the execution, these stories will be the next evolution of Jump. And Time Paradox Ghostwriter will have paved that way. To be fair, guys, I honestly... This seems to have an angle to it from a certain point of the fans' interpretations and whatnot. I would say, look, go read it for yourselves and form your own opinions about it. Don't subscribe. Don't ask us about LHA here. We're not talking about LHA. Yeah, I agree. Don't care about plagiarism in a fake world. It's like, really, it's a fake world. They're literally trying to tell a story, and honestly, how they did it was really fucking original. Like, it borrowed some concepts, like a time-traveling microwave and, behind the scenes of creating manga, but, like, that was such a unique concept. It really did stand out. It's only 14 chapters, guys. You can read it really effing quickly. Damn, Japan, you need to stop people from working themselves to death. I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Japan's not doing it. It was their choice. Yeah, it was a really good mystery, Fel. I agree. Hello, how you doing? Am I late? Fish bread, you are kind of a little bit late. We're on the last story. I have thoughts and opinions. Calvin, I would like to hear what you have to say about this. I mean, you don't you don't have to necessarily agree with me. That's cool. Sorry, didn't mean to start yawning
Um,
there.
no, it's all good. Um, well, yeah. Fortunately for you, I actually do agree with you here. Like this, I
Yay!
mean, you laid out the premise. Well, you laid out the premise pretty good. It's yes, it does it does go off of the concept of plagiarism very heavily, but that wasn't the only angle. Like it would be one thing if that was the only angle
Yeah, and I gotta
in the
admit,
story.
I did feel a little uncomfortable, and it'd be one thing if the guy didn't feel any remorse about what he was doing to begin with, and you got to realize the the author of this story, literally from 10 years, her the version of her that's 10 years in the past, the author of that story confronted him and was like, "Hey," and he felt really bad about it. But like at that point in time, she just start piecing this stuff together. It's kind of like if somebody wrote Infinity's Light right now, but had like the fully finished version of it. Like we're still in like early kind of concept stuff, but like they had 100 chapters worth of knowledge and everything, and they're like, this is amazing, and they thought it was a dream, and they went ahead and published it and got it. Like, yeah, I'd be pissed. I'd go confront them, but you know what? I'd probably act like her too. I'd give up. And I get like it being a woman. It's like, come on, man. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. Gender should not matter who he's stealing it from. It should not add extra insult that a guy is stealing it from a girl. I'd feel the same way if it was a girl stealing from a guy. I'm just saying, it's just. I think people blew this too out of proportion and did not give it a fair shake. Like, I thought it just wasn't selling well. I didn't know there was hate for this series. I did.
Mm.
I can't fathom the hatred for this series. It was a good, interesting, unique series that kind of stood out from typical Shonen Jump fare. You know?
I think that one concept just too many people decided to latch
Right.
onto it for whatever reason.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and keep going. I gotta pee. I got so angry my
Uh,
bladder woke up.
Angry bladder.
Angry bladder.
But unfortunately, yeah, like I was saying, I don't know, like people get stuck on one particular angle, and this is nothing new with anything over anything pop culture or creatively related. Um, just getting hung up on the fact that uh, excuse me, the main character had plagiarized this young woman's work. It I mean, yes, there is plenty to be upset about, but like this is kind of difficult. Like very like trying to go through the different angles of the story. Like I haven't read Time Paradox Ghostwriter, but um both Richie and I believe Fell was reading it too, and I trust their judgments when it comes to anime and manga, and
Shonen
this
Jump's just a
Richie raving over.
yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hi.
Oh,
No, no, you're
uh,
good. Keep going.
I was just gonna say like you were absolutely raving over this over this series. Like it was like I haven't had a chance to read it, but from the sound of it, it sounded fantastic and an interesting, unique angle
Hmm.
in a time where like things start to like feel kind of cookie cutter
Yeah, yeah.
uh or derived after a while. So
Because
it
the other thing that kind of like bothered me here was like, and I get the oh god we got to put a heroine in thing. Shonen Jump does that often, but like this was, it wasn't like we have to put in a heroine. It's like this guy's stealing from a person and it happened to be a woman, and I like that because there's not a lot of female mangaka in Shonen Jump. They tend to work in shojo rather than shonen, and I think there should be more female writers because there should be plenty of female storytellers. That was another thing that kind of bummed me out, and it's not necessarily about representation. It's just there's a lot of women out there who could probably write a shonen series that's really really good. I don't give a shit about whether you have a dick or not. Tell me an interesting story. So you know what? There are plenty of women out there who could tell me an interesting effing story through Shonen Jump, and I think there should be more of those. It's not necessarily just about inclusion for inclusion's sake. I want some good effing stories, and this happened to be one of those. And that's another reason that I like this, because they didn't try and sexualize this woman. There were no bath scenes. There wasn't like a shit ton of like panty things all over the place. That broke the classic mold. It will take a long time till someone else tries. Not well. I don't think it's necessarily that they shut it down because it broke outside the mold. If that were the case, they wouldn't have serialized it. I think the backlash that it got really caught them off guard. It definitely caught me off guard to learn that there was backlash for it. Oh, this was a TLDR. No wonder. So it just Shonen Jump's been pissing me off a lot lately. Like I get it. The writer for Act Age was an absolute scumbag, and I agree that it should have been that you should end Act Age with what you had left. Just end it. But it's like, don't try erasing it and pretending like it didn't happen. That's the equivalent of trying to sweep it under a rug. It's like, come on, people. We all know what happened. And now you're just... by literally trying to remove Act Age, you're basically saying to pirates... you're basically giving piracy a boost. It's like, hey, we've got that Act Age that you can't find anywhere else. It's like that shady dude in the trench coat. It's like, instead of you want to buy a watch, it's like, yeah, hey, I got some Act Age right next to this crack, you know, or the mysterious stranger from Resident Evil 4. What are you buying? You know. Oh, okay, gotcha. I agree, but I feel people will try and tread a bit lighter. Okay. I don't care what the premise is as long as the story keeps me entertained. Yeah. A good story should be a good story should always be the thing that goes first. And I think there's plenty of women out there that have good stories to tell. I don't care whether you have a dick or whether you have tits. Just bring me a good story, you know? Alrighty. That's basically my rant. We started off with me crying. We end with me ranting. There we go. It's a well-rounded show.
Here. Run the full gamut of emotion.
It is. Okay. And I'm gonna end this with a question. I'm gonna definitely end this with a question for the audience. So we have to do a bit of research. Starting soon. And by research, I mean we have to watch anime. There's a specific genre. We know who's DMing and we know what genre they're DMing for the Christmas special. My question is, this quote unquote, see, part of me wants to do this quote unquote research and be like, hey, we can get everybody on and we can screen share and like, you know, and you guys can watch this show and react to it or whatever. Doesn't mean we're doing the show. It's just genre research. But essentially, I don't know if we could feasibly do that. I know that it would be a Discord only kind of thing.
Right.
And there's no way we're putting it up. Like, even if we were to do reactions and put them up on the channel, there's no way we would be putting them up on this channel. We're already in enough trouble as it is. But like, I really want to do it, but the more I think about it, I'm like, oh, we probably shouldn't. But I was gonna say, we've got, well, you and I still have to watch it regardless, and like have a chat and stuff. So Daily
Right.
Motion, no, I'm not gonna. No, we're not gonna do that either. I don't want to turn into a reaction channel because we just don't have the time to do that. Like, we don't have the time to properly do a certain amount of reactions and put them out at the rate that fans honestly deserve. So, I mean, I may do a thing where we watch a series and we just sit down and talk about it on like one of our individual channels and shit. Maybe we'll do that.
Mm.
You're not a fan of reaction videos. Okay, cool. I am a fan of reaction videos, and I would love to do more reaction videos with my mom because there's a lot of stuff out there. Like, my mom has seen like 7 episodes of My Hero Academia, and she really loves it. Like, I was like, yeah, I figured she would because it's more of a Western kind of feel. Ooh, but you know, it is a little bit tougher to. Oh, goodness. There we go. It is a little bit tougher to kind of get those out there and stuff. And I wanted to do them via my Discord. You know, like analysis videos where they talk about what they liked and whatnot. Okay, cool. We might do those. We might do analysis videos for Fat Dog. Because we are just a bunch of fucking anime nerds. But we'll
Mm.
actually have to sit down and figure that stuff out. Again, it's going to be time consuming, and some of the stuff that we're working on, that we're reviewing, may not be out until we've actually let the cat out the bag. That, hey, this is what we're working on. Like, if we're abridging an anime and we have to sit down and watch it, we may give our thoughts and opinions, but we may not put those thoughts and opinions out until um like much later.
At the very least, the announcement.
Either an announcement or when we've already released the episode, then we'll put out like, that may be how we do it. Like, we'll sit down and actually watch like whatever series it is that we're doing, and we'll put it out after we put out the thing. Like, um, I already have thoughts and opinions. I've already had them pretty strongly for Cells at Work, but I don't know if you've watched Cells at Work, Calvin.
Um, Only first episode.
Okay, so definitely we want to get Cells at Work. We need to do like a marathon at some point, and then we can do that next year. It's not a thing that has to happen right now. Man, it feels weird when people stop talking to answer my question, kind of like a virtual interruption. Nah, you're good, man. That's how we do here.
Well,
We're weird. Welcome to
yeah.
our weird channel,
Where we care about our fans and
where
shit
we
like
care
that.
about our fans and shit. We realize the comments. Sometimes you have a comment, and it's more important than the shit we're saying. I'm the dude disguised as a dude playing another dude. 3 hours, 45 minutes per season. Jesus, I don't think we're gonna make a fucking video that long. No, no. But you know, we might sit down and have a discussion about some shows. I've already talked about my hatred of both three, so we'll see how things go. But yeah, next time you will catch us doing stuff. Calvin and I will probably be hopping on with Fell for What the Fell, provided he's not working. And most likely trying to do some more Destiny stuff. If we can get another raid, hopefully happening on Wednesday, we'll do that. I want to get Eater of Worlds together for fucking Wednesday. There's a lot of us that need to do that. What's my opinion on Ruby? I'll give you that one on the next episode. Make sure to ask me. Don't ask me that at the end of a series. I don't hate it as much as other people. I don't dislike it, actually. I'm okay on it. I honestly think the first 3 seasons. I think the first 2.5 seasons were just trash because they were basically the same shit I'd seen in anime over and over and over again. But I actually liked. I'm one of those weird people. I liked season 4 and 5 and 6 because there was a lot more lore building that was going on. Yeah, there wasn't as much action, but I'm okay with that because I like story more than I like action. And I really like season 7 because there was much more competent writing, so I'm looking forward to season 8. There you go. There's my opinions. Well, I guess I need to check it out then. Haven't watched it. Is it any good? Haven't watched what? Fist. Are you talking about Ruby or are you talking about Cells at Work? What are you asking about specifically? I know. Us sitting here waiting for a reply. Alrighty. I was tempted to watch it when Smite did a collab, but the guilt of my giant plan to watch list prevented me. Oh yeah, Ruby. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Alrighty, guys. I will talk to you all later. Calvin will talk to you later. We'll see you Wednesday.
Yes.
We'll see you Wednesday. Yeah.
Yep.
Any last minute things to say to the audience, Calvin?
Thanks for watching as always. Thank you for chatting with us.
Bye-bye for now.
Hope we can do this again very soon.
Come check out Calvin's Lush Vibes Radio tomorrow on the
radio.
RadioFreeBrooklyn.com or your Radio Free Brooklyn app. All right,
Anime
Calvin.
Stuff is a 501c3 nonprofit.
You knew it! You beat me by 1 effing second! 1 effing second! Yes! PhatDogStudios. I was going to turn it over to you to do that bit, but you did it before I could ask you to. Yes! Later, everybody!